You there, Upworlder! Anyone using this elevator has to pay the toll.
Yeah, this is our elevator. If you use it, you gotta give us something.
I don't believe this planet. Even the beggars are trying to shake us down.
5 credits! That's what it costs to use our elevator. 5 credits! We are the outcasts, banished and reviled by those who dwell above.
Here in the filth and darkness, we claw out a wretched existence, scavenging and begging just to survive long enough to see another wretched day.
This is our village. We live here in the Undercity. You have to pay us 5 credits for using our elevator.
We're not fools. We know all who come from the upworld are rich. Please, is 5 credits too much to ask?
Please have pity on us. We have nothing. All we ask is a few credits to make our lives easier. Run, my brother! Flee this one's wrath!
Have you no heart? Have you no compassion?
Come, my brother, let us go. We will get nothing from this selfish upworlder. Credits, my brother! We have credits. Now we can buy food and medicine.
Hush, or the others will hear us. They'll want our credits. We have to hide them.
Go on, you two, get out of here! I'm sorry about that. Those 2 beggars give everyone in the village a bad name. We aren't all like that, you know. Most of us are good people.
I'm sure you are, miss. It's just too bad your little welcoming committee is here to give people a bad first impression.
My name is Shaleena. You're from the Upworld, aren't you? I've never seen it. I was born here in the Undercity. Is it as nice as they say up there? Not to you, I suppose, but you're probably used to its beauty by now. I suppose our world doesn't look like much to you. It's dark and cold and lonely down here, but this is the only world I've ever known. I've never been to the surface, but sometimes I think I can see it in my dreams. The sun, the sky, the stars. It all sounds so wonderful. Gendar, the leader of our village, tells me I should spend more time trying to improve things down here and less time dreaming about something I can never have. Maybe he's right. You probably think I'm a fool, having dreams of a place I've never even seen. But when I was little, Rukil used to tell me stories of what it was like up there. Rukil's the oldest man in the village. The kids call him Rukil Wrinkleskin, but he's a kind man. He used to tell me the greatest stories when I was a little girl. I still like to listen to his tales about the Promised Land, even though I know they're just legends, but it helps to make the Undercity seem less dark somehow. It's just a story to make little children smile. Rukil believes in it, though. Sometimes I can almost believe it myself, but then I look around and see the ugly truth. I guess we have to make the best of what we have, though. If you really want to learn more about the Promised Land, you should speak to Rukil. You'd probably get more information from Gendar, the village leader, or maybe Rukil, but I'll tell you whatever I can. Well, I was born here for starters. My parents were outcasts, banished to the Undercity for some crime or other. They never really liked to talk about it. Everyone here is an outcast, or the descendants of one. It's tough down here, but we survive. I guess it's easier for me since I've never known anything different. Some of the people have given up all hope. They've become bitter and depressed, but most of us are good people, despite what our ancestors may have done. Gendar could probably tell you more, or maybe Rukil. You could talk to them if you want. He's wandering around somewhere on the south side of the village. He doesn't move too far. He's hard on his bones. He's over 100 years old. The children laugh at him, and people think he's crazy because of his stories about the Promised Land, but he's really just a kind old man. He'll be somewhere in the village. I couldn't say where for sure. He's always busy doing whatever he can to make the lives of the other villagers easier. Oh, okay. Well, if you ever need anything, or if you just feel like talking, come back and see me. I hardly ever get a chance to speak to someone from the Upworld.
Greetings, Upworlder. We rarely see your kind here in the Undercity. I find it strange that so many of you have come down from the surface recently.
No offense, but I can see why people normally avoid this place.
Why have you come into this dark and sunless place? Is there something you need of me or my village? I will help you however I can. We are the Outcasts, shunned from the surface for our crimes and banished here to the Undercity. We banded together to form this village that we might survive in this hostile environment. I am Gendar, leader of this village, as my father was and as was his father before him. Many of us have been here for generations, our ancestors cast down long ago. There is no return to the surface for us or our descendants, but somehow we managed to survive amidst the filth and roaming bands of deadly rakghouls. Life down here can be difficult. It can break the spirit. Many in the village have become bitter and hopeless, especially those newly cast down. But life goes on, and we must try to make the best of what we have, and maybe someday we will find a better life. Listen to me. I'm starting to sound like Rukil. The oldest man in the village. He's a kind soul, but I'm afraid he's growing weary of this world. He dreams of escaping, of finding a better world. If you wish to speak to him, you can probably find him wandering about the village. As I said, a kind man, though he does cling to his illusions. The rakghouls are monsters, hideous mutations who feast on the flesh of our villagers. Their diseased jaws can infect those they attack, transforming the victim into one of those abominations. We know of no cure for the disease, and for the good of the village, we must banish any who become infected, lest they transform and turn on us. As you wish, Upworlder. Should you have need of anything else, come speak to me. I represent the entire village, and I will do my best to help you however I can.
You come from the world above. Is this the time of destiny, then? Is this a portent of the salvation of my people? Or merely another false sign to mislead us from the path? Are you the herald of prophecy, the beacon to guide us through the darkness? Or are you merely another harbinger of shattered dreams and unfulfilled promises?
Be careful. This one might be crazy enough to be dangerous.
Watch yourself. This guy's star chart is missing a few galaxies, if you know what I mean.
This old man's demeanor may seem crazed, but I sense there is a purpose behind it, a benevolent one. He is no danger to us.
Speak to me, Upworlder. Tell me what fate you unleash upon us. Salvation or damnation? Speak, Upworlder, I beg you. Old, yes, but not insane. Oh, no, not insane at all. I am as rational as any man can be after 100 years in the filth and darkness of the Undercity. A question. You are uncertain, bewildered, perplexed. Understandable, I suppose. Even after 100 years of life, I myself still become confused at times. Perhaps I can make things more clear. Some things, at least. My name is Rukil, the oldest outcast here in the village. Rukil Wrinkleskin, the children call me sometimes. Once I was honored for my wisdom, and over time the villagers fell away from the true path. Eventually there was only a single apprentice who followed me, and now she is gone too. Please, a moment, Upworlder. I must know if you are the one I have been waiting for. Please, I beg for your help. No, not yet. I must be wary, careful. You may be a false savior. Dare I share my secrets with you? No, not until you prove yourself. My apprentice is lost. I sent her out into the Undercity to find... Well, I cannot tell you. Not yet. Sadly, my apprentice has not returned. Please, Upworlder, will you help an old man? Will you seek out my apprentice in the Undercity? Her name is Malia. I must know of her fate, whatever it may be. I must know what she found. Finding her may be difficult. Malia could be anywhere in the Undercity. But if you will find her, I will know you to be our true savior. Only then can I reveal my secret knowledge to you. I wish you luck, Upworlder. Come speak to me again once you have discovered the fate of my apprentice.
Hey, you ain't from the village. You're from the Upworld, ain't you? Yes, you've got credits, I bet.
Watch yourself. There's something slimy about this guy. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
My name's Igear. I run a little salvage shop here. You want to buy something from my store? I got some good deals. If a villager comes across any useful salvage in the Undercity, they bring it to me. Every so often, members from the lower city gangs come down to trade for the salvage. They'll exchange food and medicine for engine parts, old blasters, and the like. Sometimes they even give me credits if I have some really good stuff. Oh, you better ask Gendar. He's the spokesman for the village. I just run the store. I don't want to make him mad by answering any questions. Gendar already doesn't like me. Gendar seems to think I should share the profits of my store with the whole village. He figures we're all in this together, so it should be share and share alike. But I'm the one who runs the store. I'm the one who makes the deals. The others just bring me salvage to trade with the Upworlders. Why should they get anything? Exactly my point. But Gendar doesn't see it that way. Hey! You don't know what it's like down here. I have to claw and scrape to survive. Nobody else will look out for me. But Gendar doesn't agree with my philosophy. He caught me hoarding supplies a while back. I figured I'd wait until food was scarce and then I could offer it to people who'd follow me instead of Gendar. Then I'd be the leader. But Gendar made me share my hoard. Ever since then, he hasn't trusted me. He keeps me around because of my store, though. Without it, this village wouldn't stand a chance. Yeah, okay. You'll come back and see me if you want a deal.
Greetings once more, Upworlder. Do you bring news of my apprentice? Have you discovered her fate and proved yourself to be a true savior of my people? It is as I feared, then. She joins the list of those who have given their lives in the service of our cause. But though I am saddened by this news, there is yet hope. By finding my apprentice, you have proved yourself worthy, Upworlder. You are to be the beacon on our path to salvation. You will guide us to the promised land. You are marked, Upworlder. Even my dim old eyes can see the mantle of destiny that cloaks you. Perhaps old Rukil knows you better than you know yourself. I am old. I have lived 100 years in the Undercity, cast down into the darkness. I know the legends and history of our people, and now you must learn it too. The great city of Taris covers the entire surface of this planet. There is no land to grow food. Kelp harvests and the creatures of the sea are our only food source. A century ago, rising levels of toxic pollution poisoned the oceans, and famine swept the planet. The rich hoarded food for their own use, and the poor were left to starve and die.
From what I've seen of Taris, it doesn't look like much has changed. Except for the upper city, people here are just as bad off as the poor in your little history.
But the poor rose up against this tyranny, and civil war engulfed the planet. Millions died in the fighting, and huge sections of Taris were destroyed or abandoned. The rebellion was crushed in the end. Thousands were taken prisoner. The jails could not hold them all, and so the practice of banishing all prisoners to the Undercity was born. Many brave men and women were banished here to the Undercity for their part in the rebellion. People like my father and grandfather were cast down, along with their families.
What did you expect? If they could get away with it, the Tarisian nobles would stuff their own mothers down here to make more room in the upper city.
Now we live a dark existence beneath the streets of Taris, a life devoid of all hope but one, the Promised Land, and you will be the one to show us the way to get there. Legends tell of a self-sufficient colony founded just before the famine and lost during the Civil War. A paradise beneath the Undercity where droid servants tend to every need. For many years I searched for the Promised Land, just as my grandfather and father did before me. When I became old and gray, my apprentice continued the search on my behalf.
Sounds like a myth to me. Something to give the people here some false hope to cling to so they don't go mad with despair.
I have collected many clues hinting at its location. The journal of my apprentice provides yet more information. But still, there are too many pieces missing from this puzzle. But I know my father and grandfather each had journals where they recorded their own discoveries. Perhaps, with their journals, I could at last uncover its hidden location. Please, Upworlder. I am too old to search for the missing journals myself, and the other villagers think the Promised Land is nothing but a myth. I have nothing to offer if you help me in this. I hope the knowledge that you are helping the entire village escape a life of darkness and suffering is reward enough. It is many decades since my father set out on his journey, but I remember he was eager to explore the sewers. You might want to begin your search there. I wish you luck in your quest, Upworlder. The future survival of this village, of my people, depends on you. Yes, Upworlder, well done. However, I see that this journal alone does not have enough clues for me to solve this mystery. Too many pieces are still missing. I'm afraid that only with all three journals, my grandfather's, my father's, and my apprentice's, will I be able to discover the location of the Promised Land. I will leave this journal with you for safekeeping for now. Perhaps it will aid you in your search for the others. I wish you luck, Upworlder, for the sake of the entire village.
I saw you talking with Rukil. It's nice of you to help him, though I don't want to get my hopes up. I mean, the Promised Land, how could it be true? It's just that sometimes Rukil seems so certain, and then you show up, just like the Upworld savior from the legends. If Rukil's right, this could be a whole new life for the village. No more rakghoul attacks, no more starvation. I shouldn't get my hopes up. Not yet. But I will wish you good luck on behalf of the entire village.
I saw you talking with Rukil. He told you his legends about the Promised Land, didn't he? He told you all about his missing apprentice and the other lost explorers, right? You know, most people don't believe his stories. They figure he's nothing but an old cook. But I think there might be some truth in what he's saying. That is why I want to stop him. Oh, don't worry, I'll make this quick. I've got an offer that might be worth your while. For an outcast, I've got things pretty good. The village relies on me to bring in food and supplies. I'm an important man. If it wasn't for Gendar, I'd be running this place.
I get the feeling if it wasn't for Gendar, this place would be a lot worse off than it is.
But if Rukil ever finds his Promised Land, I'm sunk. People won't need to rely on me anymore. I'll just be another nobody like all the rest of the villagers. I won't let that happen. I don't want you to kill Rukil. He's not the problem. It's those damn explorers that went before him. What if they actually found something? They would have recorded that information in their journals. I'll pay you if you bring all 3 journals to me. The 2 from the explorers and the 1 from Rukil's apprentice. Then I can destroy the evidence and make sure nobody ever finds the promised land. I've saved up enough credits for my business here to make it worth your while if you help me. Don't judge me. I learned a long time ago that if I want to survive down here, I've got to look out for number 1. The 2 explorers who went searching for the promised land might have found something. They might have found clues or evidence, just like Rukil's apprentice. They would have recorded that information in their journals. I'll pay you if you bring all 3 journals to me. The 2 from the explorers and the 1 from Rukil's apprentice. Then I can destroy the evidence and make sure nobody ever finds the promised land. I've saved up enough credits for my business here to make it worth your while if you help me. Don't be a fool! I'm the only one here who can pay you for those journals. Rukil has nothing. He won't be able to come up with any kind of reward. Once you have all 3 journals, just bring them to me and I'll give you a decent reward. Now, was there something else you needed? Yeah, okay. You'll come back and see me if you want a deal. Knew Rukil's legend about the promised land were true. Quick, give me those journals so I can destroy them. Fine, go to Rukil, but he won't be able to pay you anything for those journals. Come back and see me when you're ready to stop acting crazy and you want to cut a deal. Right, your reward. Here's 100 credits. That's a pretty hefty payment for some old notes and maps, eh? Well, I don't want Rukil to get his hands on them journals. I'll give you 200 credits. That's all I have. Excellent. Now Rukil will never lead these people to the promised land. Now, is there something else you need? You want to look at my inventory?
False prophet! Deceiver! You have betrayed me! You have sold the hope of the entire village to the selfish and damnable Igear! All I have worked for is destroyed. All the hopes and dreams of my father and grandfather before him turned to dust. Begone, upworlder! I have only curses to speak at you!
I saw what you did. You gave those journals to Igear. I will never find the promised land. How could you do that, you monster? Just get away from me. I don't want to speak to you again.
Welcome back, upworlder. How goes your quest? Have you found the journals of my father and grandfather? Can it be true? Is it possible that at long last the dream of my father and grandfather before him will be fulfilled? I can hardly bear to look. Yes, of course. Now I understand. It all makes sense. Now I see why the Promised Land has been so hard to find. It is so obvious. You have done a great thing, Upworlder. A selfless act that will bring great joy to all the people of this village. I must take this to Gendar right away.
Rukil, what do you want now? Have you more fables of a hidden paradise just waiting for us to find it?
You may not think these are fables after you see what I have brought you, Gendar. Look at these journals.
What? No, it can't be. Are these real, Rukil? Is this information accurate?
I swear to you everything in these journals is true, Gendar. The Promised Land. I told you I would find it.
The entrance is far from here, Rukil. It will take us weeks to get there, perhaps even months. And we will have to cross many rakghoul-infested areas.
I do not deny the journey will be hard, Gendar. But surely it is better than the miserable life we have here.
Wise words, Rukil. Our supplies are high right now. We could leave by nightfall. I will tell the others to prepare for the journey.
Thank you once again, Upworlder. I will say a final goodbye. For where we are going, I fear you cannot come. The journey to the Promised Land is long and arduous. No, Upworlder, I cannot ask that. The journey will take many, many weeks, and those who make the journey cannot return. That was the final secret of the Promised Land. When the colony was created, it was designed so that people could enter willingly, but they could never leave again. This was to ensure secrecy on the project. We must part ways here, Upworlder. I sense your destiny is yet to be chosen, but the destiny of my people is at the end of the long journey ahead of us.